You believe that victory goes to the person who works the hardest. You think that maximum daily effort guarantees a positive result. You believe that if you push your mind and your body to their absolute limits, you will win. This is a false belief. Effort is the lowest level of strategy. Effort without a structural system is a waste of physical energy. Look at the ancient record of Mesopotamia. Look at the king of Uruk. His name was Gilgamesh. He was the strongest human in the world. He possessed absolute physical power. He had one primary objective. He wanted to attain eternal life. He wanted to defeat biological death. He walked across the earth. He fought wild lions with his bare hands. He pushed stone giants into the sea. He applied maximum physical effort every single day. Did he achieve his objective? He failed. He died like every other man. Why did the strongest man in the world fail his primary mission? He failed because he used physical force instead of a mechanical system. He fought the environment. He did not control the environment. The environment always defeats physical force. The environment does not get tired. Biological organisms get tired. You operate your daily life like Gilgamesh. You wake up. You look at your problems. You use your raw energy to fight the problems. You push against the resistance. You use your willpower. By the end of the day, your energy reaches zero. You sleep. You wake up and repeat this incorrect cycle. You must stop using raw effort. You must build a macro system. A macro system is a rigid set of rules that controls your resources. Your primary resources are time, capital, and energy. A system operates independently of your feelings. A system does not care if you are tired. Most people believe they must fight their competitors on an open battlefield. You think you must be faster and stronger than your enemy. This is another false belief. Winners do not use superior combat skills. Winners use asymmetrical environments. Consider the ancient Egyptian record. Osiris was a god. He was strong. He was the ruler of the territory. His brother was Set. Set wanted the throne. Set was physically weaker than Osiris. How does a weak opponent defeat a strong ruler? Set did not fight Osiris in an open field. Set used a structural trap. He measured the exact physical dimensions of his brother. Set built a wooden box. The inside of the box perfectly matched the body of Osiris. No other person could fit inside. Set organized a large feast. He brought the box to the room. He told the guests that the person who fits inside the box will own it. Osiris lay down inside the wooden box. He fit perfectly. Set immediately closed the heavy door. Set locked the box. He threw the box into the river. Set won the kingdom. Why did Set win? He controlled the environment. He built a system that trapped his target. He did not use effort. He used precise measurement and structural control. You must build a wooden box for your objectives. You must define the exact rules of your market. Do not compete in open fields where the enemy has more resources. You must isolate your competitor. You must isolate your daily tasks. How do you build this box in your daily operation? You use structural leverage. Leverage is a tool that increases the output of your input. If you push a heavy stone with your hands, it does not move. If you use a long steel bar, you can move the stone with one finger. The steel bar is leverage. You have 4 types of leverage available to you. Type 1 is capital. Capital is money. Money buys the time of other humans. Money buys machines. Type 2 is labor. Labor is other humans executing your microtasks. You give them a rule, they execute the rule. Type 3 is code. Code is a software system. A software system operates 24 hours a day. It does not require food. It does not sleep. Type 4 is media. Media is recorded information. A video or a document replicates at 0 cost. You build it one time. It works for you 1,000,000 times. You must use these for tools to build your macro system. If you rely on your own hands to execute every micro task, you are Gilgamesh. You will fail. You must use the tools of Set. You must design the game so that the victory condition requires your specific box. Most people believe willpower is the necessary element for discipline. You think you must train your mind to resist bad choices. This is a critical error. Willpower depletes over time. Biological fatigue destroys discipline. Your brain consumes glucose when you make decisions. When the glucose is low, you make bad decisions. How do you guarantee correct actions when you are mentally tired? Look at the ancient Greek record. Look at Odysseus. He sailed his wooden ship toward the island of the Sirens. The Sirens were creatures that produced a specific sound. The sound entered the brains of men. The sound forced the men to jump into the sea and die on the rocks. Odysseus wanted to acquire the data. He wanted to hear the sound of the sirens. He also wanted to survive the journey. How did he achieve two opposite objectives at the same time? He did not use mental willpower. He used physical constraints. He ordered his crew to put solid wax in their ears. The crew could not hear the sound. The crew could safely row the ship. Then Odysseus ordered his crew to tie his body to the primary vertical pole of the ship. He ordered them to keep the heavy ropes tight. He told them to ignore his future commands. The ship approached the island. The sirens produced the sound. Odysseus heard the sound. His brain changed. He commanded his men to release him. His men could not hear him. They continued to row. The ship moved past the zone of danger. Why did Odysseus survive? He survived because he made his decisions before he entered the dangerous environment. He built a macro system of physical ropes. He let the microsystem of his crew execute the action. His willpower did not save him. The ropes saved him. This is the ancient protocol of victory. Now we apply it to your mechanical operation. You must separate your life into two entities. Entity 1 is the planner. Entity 2 is the worker. The planner makes decisions at a macro level. The planner designs the ropes. The planner operates in a state of high energy and logic. The worker operates at a micro level. The worker pulls the oars. The worker does not make decisions. The worker only follows the structural constraints. You must build your ropes today. Do you waste your daily time on digital networks? Do you consume useless information? You must not use willpower to stop looking at the screen. You must cut the data supply. You must block the networks at the hardware router level. You must change the password and give the password to another person. The constraint must be structural. Do you waste your capital on useless items? You must automate the movement of your money. The money must leave your primary account and go to a secure investment account before you see it. You tie your financial hands to the mast. You design the system when you are strong. The system protects you when you are weak. You must physically remove the option to fail. You think you must solve every problem directly. You believe that when a problem appears, you must immediately attack it. Why does solving a problem often create two new problems? Because you attack the symptom. You do not attack the root structure. Look at the Greek record of Heracles. Heracles had to destroy the Hydra. The Hydra was a massive biological creature with many heads. Heracles approached the creature. He used his heavy sword. He cut off one head. Immediately, two new heads grew from the open wound. Heracles swung his sword faster. He used maximum Gilgamesh effort. He cut off more heads. The creature grew larger. The creature overwhelmed him. How do you kill a self-replicating problem? You change the environment. Heracles stopped swinging his sword. He called for his companion, Ion. He told Iolaus to bring fire. Heracles cut a head. Iolaus immediately pushed the fire against the open biological root. The extreme heat burned the tissue. the new heads could not grow. Heracles systematically burned every root. He defeated the creature. You have a business problem. You have a personal problem. You answer a difficult message. 2 more difficult messages arrive. You are cutting the heads of the Hydra. You are using raw effort to manage a repeating cycle. You must use fire. Fire is a macro system. You must analyze your daily micro actions, which actions repeat every week. A repeating action is a Hydra head. You must not fight repeating actions with daily effort. You must build a system to automate the action or completely eliminate the action. You must write a standard operating procedure. You must give the procedure to your labor leverage or your code leverage. You must burn the root of the communication loop. You believe that moving fast is the best way to win. You think high speed creates momentum. This is a dangerous misunderstanding. Speed without exact measurement creates structural chaos. Chaos destroys systems. How do you maintain a functional system over a long period of time? You must capture and retain data. The ancient Egyptians worshipped Thoth. Thoth was the entity of writing and mathematics. He held a measuring rod. He recorded the physical actions of the universe. He weighed the hearts of the dead. Why did the most powerful empire of the ancient world worship a scribe? Because the Egyptians understood the retention of data. Memory is a biological function. Biological memory degrades. It changes. It lies. Written data is structural. Structural data compounds over time. Measurement is the foundation of control. You must become Thoth in your own daily systems. You must measure your inputs. You must measure your outputs. You have a specific goal. You execute a physical action. Does the action move you closer to the goal? You do not know the answer if you do not measure the result. You must track your primary resource. Your primary resource is time. You have 24 hours in a daily cycle. Where does the time go? You must write down the exact allocation of every hour for 7 consecutive days. When you capture this data, you will find massive inefficiencies. You will find that you spend your highest energy hours on low-value micro-tasks. You must shift your resources based on the data. Your biological brain produces maximum cognitive power in the first 3 hours after you sleep. You must assign your most difficult macro task to these 3 hours. You must assign your low-value micro-tasks to the late hours of the day. Micro-tasks do not require high cognitive fuel. This is the mechanical science of retention. You must retain your energy. You must retain your capital. You must retain your focus. Do not build a system in your biological memory. A mental system is invisible. An invisible system cannot be measured. You must write the structural rules on physical paper. You must put the paper on your wall. The rules must remain visible at all times. You must create a daily ledger. A ledger is a document of absolute truth. You must record your daily inputs. Did you execute the high-value task? Write yes or write no. Do not write an excuse. A macro system does not process excuses. A system only processes binary data, 1 or 0, true or false. At the end of the 7-day cycle, you review the ledger. The ledger will tell you the mathematical truth about your behavior. Your memory will attempt to lie to you. Your memory protects your ego. The ledger destroys your ego. Winning requires the absolute destruction of your internal ego. The ego wants to feel important. The macro system only wants to generate results. You think winning is a single event. You believe victory is a final destination where you can stop working. This is the final misconception. Winning is never an event. Winning is a continuous physical process of structural maintenance. Look at the pyramids at Giza. The builders did not use magic. They did not have modern digital machines. How did they build physical structures that survive for thousands of years? They used a heavy, wide base. They cut stones at precise mathematical angles. They moved one block at a time. They placed each block in an exact, predetermined sequence. They started with a clear macro-architectural plan. The macro plan dictated the micro-actions of thousands of human workers over decades of time. You must build your personal pyramid. Your base layer is your physical energy. If you do not sleep for 8 hours, you destroy your base. If you do not consume correct chemical fuel, you destroy your base. A weak biological base cannot support a massive structural system. Your middle layers are your daily operating procedures. You must standardize your physical actions. You must consume food at the same time every day. You must execute work at the same time every day. You must eliminate decision fatigue. Every decision consumes cognitive fuel. You must make fewer decisions. You must make a macro decision one time and let the rigid system execute that decision every single day. Your top layer is your strategic objective. It is the peak of the pyramid. The peak is sharp, the peak is narrow. You cannot have 10 strategic objectives. You must have one primary objective. All blocks in the lower layers must point to the top objective. When the daily micro-action does not support the top objective, you must immediately remove that action from your schedule. This is the formula. You identify the misconception. You ask the structural question. You explain the mechanical reality. You build the macro system. You constrain the micro execution. You measure the binary data. You retain the captured leverage. You stop acting like Gilgamesh. You start building the ropes. You lock the wooden box. You record the ledger. You build the pyramid. This is the ancient philosophy of the winner.